So we got a new accessory from Blackstone. This is the brand new griddle light and phone holder, available exclusively at Lowe's as of right now. This is brand spanking new, literally just came out a few days ago. I went to my local Lowe's, they had a couple on the shelf, so I picked one up. Could this be the perfect stocking stuffer for the griddle owner in your life? Let's check it out and find out. So as you can see, griddle light phone holder. This is the griddle light piece, and then it has this phone holder, which also could double as a holder for the light itself. So nice little box. It looks like the griddle light has a kickstand. It looks like the phone holder attaches maybe via the accessory hooks on the griddle. So we'll find that out. So let's get it unboxed and see what it's about. So first things first, in the box. Wow. I will say first off, I am really surprised by how big this light is. I was not expecting that size of a light. Not sure what I was expecting, but it wasn't that. Okay, so we've got, this looks like the phone holder, which also looks very large. Actually, that's almost big enough it could hold an iPad. That's actually pretty nice. I use an iPad for filming my videos, so this might be the perfect solution for me to actually hold my iPad up. And then we've got, looks like the bracket to actually attach it. I like the little Blackstone emblem there on the bracket. Got a couple screws, not sure what those are for just yet. We have the neck. Now this is not the largest neck I've ever seen. I've got several of these that I use for various phone holders and camera holders and things. This might actually be the smallest one that I have, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Maybe I don't need one as long as I've had before, but it's definitely not the biggest. And then we have the light itself. Let's see. So that seems pretty well attached in there. Might have to bust out a knife to get that out. So I had started recording the review and my microphone battery died in the middle of it. So I had just barely gotten into the unboxing and I lost all the footage. So let's pick that up about where we left off and keep going. So I believe where I had left off is I had just pulled this out of the box. And so just to kind of get a quick tour of the light itself. So there's just a single power button. And click that on, you can see it's quite bright. That's the, there's only one setting for the light. It's unlike the other griddle light that we're going to look at here in just a minute, where it had some dimming settings. This is where the charging port is, and it's got a USB-C charging, which is an upgrade from the mini USB of their old light. And then it has this strap mechanism, which we'll look at what that's for here in just a little bit, but it actually comes off. There's a button right here. You can push that and it comes right off. And then this light itself has a kickstand. So you could set it up like that. You could set it up like this. Or the kickstand actually has like a hook on it, so you could hook it from something and use it to light up your griddle area or something like that. It's also made to go right along with the phone holder because the light is just the right size to actually fit into the phone holder. And so you can use it like that. So let's actually get this all attached to the griddle and see how it actually performs and look at the different ways that we can actually use this. Okay, so there we can see the phone mount or light mount, however you want to use it, actually attached the way it's intended to be attached to the griddle. So I'm going to see if I can move the camera here so you can see it. But it's actually designed to attach to the accessory hooks on the side shelf of your griddle. And so there's two little holes in this bracket, probably intended to line up with various models of those accessory hooks. And so you just screw it in to the accessory hooks and it sits like that. So the good thing about this is it makes it very stable, right? So you can put your phone here or the light here or something heavy. I will tell you that I did test this with an iPad, and I have one of those big iPads, like the big 12-inch iPad, and it does fit. You can actually expand this all the way and it will fit. I will say an iPad's a little heavy for it, so it does kind of droop a little bit with all that weight, but a phone would work really nicely here. And so if you wanted to have like your phone sitting here so that you could like maybe watch Todd Tovin cook on YouTube while you're cooking right here on the griddle right along with him, you could do that. Maybe you want to play some music or watch the game or something while you're cooking out here. You could set this up just like that, and it's perfect for that. And it's going to be very stable. It's not going to go anywhere because it's attached to those hooks on the side shelf. So the only thing I don't like about that is it's kind of limiting. Like, we now have to have this thing sit right here and we can't move it around as needed around the griddle, which a magnet would allow you to do. So like I said, this is intended to be used with this light in addition to a phone. So it's really nice when you're cooking out here in the dark, you can turn this on, and it is very bright. And so you can just point it directly at your griddle and it will light up your griddle really nicely, and you can see what you're cooking, see what you're doing. Okay, so that's one use for the mount itself. Okay, so let's look at how we could use the strap with this light. So like I said, this light came with this strap system here that actually hooks on to the bottom of it here. And it only goes on one way. And then you've got this nice little belt that's made out of this nice rubber. You've also got some rubber right here, okay? So the intent here is that you would attach this to this handle like so, and you have this nice rubber to protect the handle, and then you would pull it really nice and tight. That's the nice thing about it being rubber. And you want it to be good and tight because you want it to hold on, right? We don't want it to wiggle. And then we can lift our lid like this, and you can see the light mounted up here, and we can just turn that on, and you got this top-down light for the griddle, again, at nighttime when you need extra light while you're cooking and stuff. And it's actually quite bright, so it lights up the whole griddle really nicely. I think we'll wait until dark to actually test this with the in the dark to see how well it actually lights up the griddle. Okay, so it's darker. It's not completely dark, but it's getting there. So I wanted to test this out in the dark, see how well it lights things up. So I would say that's pretty decent. I mean, it's not a replacement for daylight, but it definitely lights up the whole griddle space. You do definitely get a shadow from it, but it's definitely a nice bright light that lights up the whole thing. Let's test it on the holder over here. Okay, so I have it attached to the holder over here, pointed at the griddle. Let's see how it does. I would say that's about the same. Nice and brightly lit, lights up the whole griddle. I mean, it's nice. It's out of the way. It holds the light up for you. You know, either way you go, whether it be up there or down here, it works really well. I will say that just moving to this side of it, this light's kind of blinding because it's bright. And so the top down, if you have the handle to hold it, to do top down, it's probably the best option, just because then the light's not shining directly in your eyes, blinding you while you're trying to cook. But it serves its purpose and it does a good job. So now I would like to compare this to the griddle light that Blackstone put out last year, which is this version right here, which also has a light. It's expandable, so you can adjust it. It also swivels like this, and it's rechargeable much in the same way. I will say that it's using a mini USB, which is not as good as the USB-C that the other one does, but it's also very, very bright, nice LED light there. What I like about this version though, is that it actually has 3 levels of brightness. So you can do, this is just the beginning level, second level, third level, right? So this other light, the new one over here, only has 1 level of brightness. It's either on or it's off, which is fine if you're using it to light your griddle. This one, 3 levels of brightness, which is kind of convenient, right? Another thing that I like about this one versus this one over here is that it actually has a magnet on the bottom of it. And so it actually can stick to your hood and light it up much in the same way, right? And it's magnetic. It can stick to your shelf and you can aim it much in the same way. So it serves a very similar purpose as to this one. And you can adjust it up and down, swivel the light back and forth, right? And so I like the portability of this because I can move it around from side to side and put it wherever I want. So I wanted to kind of test this with the brightness of this one just to see how they compare. So I'm going to set this relatively in the same spot, same location. I'm going to turn this one. Well, you can see how bright it is. It lights up the griddle. And then there's another level of brightness and another level of brightness. So nicely lit up, very bright. So I could turn that off. I would say this is pretty equivalent to maybe the brightest setting on here. Maybe not quite as bright as the brightest setting. Yeah, I would say it's about equivalent to the brightest setting on here. So you get 1 brightness setting here. Serves the same purpose. This does have that nice strap that you can hang up there, or you can attach it here. You are limited by attaching this to those hooks down there. And then this one has the magnet that you can move around and stick wherever you want. And it does pretty much the same thing. Both rechargeable, both serve a similar purpose. Okay, so what are my final thoughts? So I wanted to like this a little more than I actually do. I have to say I am just a little bit disappointed in the mount. I liked the idea of being able to put my phone up and displayed and being able to attach the light, but I don't like that I'm basically limited to put it right there and nowhere else. I can't really move it around or change location. That could have been very easily fixed with a nice strong magnet attached to that clamp, or even making it a clamping mechanism, because there's a lot of these kinds of devices out there that you can find online for pretty cheap that do the same thing as far as holding your phone, but they have a clamp mechanism, and so you can clamp it to the side of a table or clamp it to the side of the shelf and you can move it around, right? So while I understand what they were going for to make it work directly with the griddle, and it also makes it very, very stable because it's screwed into the griddle and it's not going to go anywhere, I'm a little disappointed in how limiting that is. The light itself, it's nice. I mean, it's a light. I like the strap. I like that I can hang it overhead. I will probably actually be using this for that purpose, just because it's pretty nice to just strap it on there and just have it hanging overhead, and it gives you that light, right? I like that it's USB-C charging. I like that if I don't want to use the strap, they thought about being able to take that off so it's not getting in the way. I do like that it attaches to that if I wanted to use that for that purpose. So a lot of good things about the light. If you're in the market for a griddle light, this could be a solution for you. The kickstand, didn't do a whole lot with the kickstand, but you know, maybe you have a situation where the hook would be nice, or just standing it up like so, maybe what you're trying to do. So I think that that's a neat feature as well. So if you're in the market for a griddle light, this could be a solution for you. Could be a great little gift, a little stocking stuffer. Maybe if you're in the market for a phone holder and a griddle light, this could be the nice set for you. This is running $35 at Lowe's right now, which I think is a little on the high end. I've seen some similar grill lights for cheaper, They're not quite this big, so this is a bigger one. And they don't come with the phone stand. I mean, that's up to you whether or not that's even going to be worth anything to you, depending on your situation and whether or not it works with your setup. So I will say that I'm a much bigger fan of last year's griddle light. It has that really strong magnet on the back. It actually stands up nicely. This isn't even magnetized, but it stands up nicely without the magnet. It's got a nice strong base, right? It's also rechargeable, even though it's not USB-C, it's the mini USB. And I can adjust it, and it has the 3 levels of brightness as well. So if you're really in the market for just a light and you're not necessarily going to attach it to your griddle or use the phone stand, this might actually be the better one for you to go get. I forget how much it is online, but you can go find it online, I'm sure. I'm pretty sure Walmart sells this, but I don't remember how much. I think it was around $30 as well. So there you go. Are you interested in any of these accessories? Let me know in the comments. I'd be interested to hear what some of the uses would be for this particular set if you're interested in that set. Maybe tell me a little bit about which one you would prefer. All right, till next time.